the first time in front of an American crowd as they hope to make this miraculous comeback to the Olympic Games. Gabby Douglas and Aly Raisman make their return to gymnastics. The 2015 Secret U.S. Classic features the return of these two Olympic champions. The last time we saw Gabby Douglas, she captured 2 Olympic titles.
It's looking pretty golden for this girl right here.
Aly Raisman left a lasting image when she clinched the team gold medal.
The Fab Five is going gold.
Now they're both back to fight the odds of making a second straight Olympic team. But in their path to the top has at least one roadblock. Simone Biles has dominated the international gymnastics scene for the past 3 years.
That is another prize for her trophy case.
She has won 6 gold medals at the World Championships, including 2 all-around titles. She has set the benchmark as the clock ticks toward Rio. All 3 champions arrive in Chicago with big ambitions. The quest for Olympic gold begins today at the 2015 Secret U.S. Classic. Sitting on the shores of Lake Michigan, Chicago, Illinois in the summer is one of the most festive places in the country. But today we're going to hop on I-90, take a short stop straight west to a place called Hoffman Estates in the Sears Center, where today the greatest gymnasts in the country will gather at the Secret U.S. Classic as they continue their road to Rio here on Universal Sports. Welcome everyone, I'm John Roethlisberger, joined by Olympic champions Amanda Borden and Tim Daggett. Great to be back with you guys again. You know, a year ago at this competition, the field, it was a little bit sparse, but Tim, here we are a year closer to the Olympic Games, and it's a little more crowded. And one reason is the return of Aly Raisman and Gabby Douglas. Let's start with Gabby Douglas. What can we realistically expect from the defending Olympic all-around champion?
Well, you know, John, I think that going back-to-back in an Olympic Games in the sport like women's gymnastics, one of the toughest things you can do in sport. In 2012, Nastia Luke and Shawn Johnson, Alicia Sacramone tried to go back. They couldn't do it. It's a tall order.
Well, regardless, I'm sure the fans out there will love to see her back in a leotard. On the other side of the comeback, Aly Raisman. Now, Amanda, she got back in the gym a little earlier than did Gabby Douglas. Once the dust settles on this competition, what are we going to be saying about the comeback of Aly Raisman?
Well, John, she is in incredible shape, and her gymnastics is as good as it was back in 2012. Now, she has a new sense of motivation to have another shot at the Olympic Games, and you can see it in her eyes.
Well, there'll be a lot of eyes on another young gymnast, Simone Biles, the 2-time world champion. She's used to being the first person we talk about in the Open, not the third person, Tim. What is this hype and attention on Aly and Gabby going to do to Simone Biles?
Absolutely nothing. She is absolutely the greatest gymnast on the planet right now. She might be the most dominant athlete the sport of gymnastics has ever seen in the all-around. It'll have no impact.
Well, there's going to be a lot of drama, and like the great LL Cool J once said, don't call it a comeback. They've been here for years, but America has not seen them since they won Olympic gold in 2012. Aly Raisman, Gabby Douglas, they're back right here at the Secret U.S. Classic, live on Universal Sports. The Secret U.S. Classic on Universal. The Secret U.S. Classic on Universal Sports is brought to you by USA Gymnastics. Begin here, go anywhere. And by Secret. Fearlessness, apply daily. But we're not wasting any time. The comeback of Gabby Douglas is going to get started on the bars very early in this first rotation. Tim and Amanda, a good place for her to start. If you haven't been on this floor in front of America since 2012, is this your first choice?
I don't think so.
Me neither.
Yeah, you know, Gabby
historically has been very strong on the uneven bars, but it's a tricky event to start on, no question. You don't want to start on beam, obviously, right, Amanda?
You don't want to start on beam, go second on beam, last on beam.
Right.
The reality is for her right now, starting anywhere is a tough feat. She's got adrenaline. This is her first time back in front of this crowd, and there are high expectations of her. Little girls in these stands are hoping that she's the Gabby Douglas they've always known.
And late career comebacks in gymnastics are tougher than most sports. The sport doesn't stand still for you. It keeps moving on, and the rules get harder, and they're going to get harder for Gabby Douglas. And here we go on the uneven bars. Tim, Amanda, how has she looked in practice on this event? Is she in form? Is she close to where she was in 2012?
You know, she's close on the uneven bars, but I don't think she's as crisp. I don't think she's quite as strong as she was. Strength to weight ratio.
Well, one thing she said was the hardest was getting that endurance back, and this is a true test of that endurance. Nice height there.
Great. Actually, that could have been a little bit difficult. She was a little close on that transition from high to low. This is very difficult. Now right back up, flies up to that bar. So far, this is pretty darn good. Double layout, Gabby Douglas.
Very impressive. Talked about that adrenaline. It definitely paid off for her in that moment. She was clean on all of her handstands. Remember, those connections, those pirouettes are vital for that difficulty score.
You know what she told us? She said, we asked her, you know, what do you think people think is going to happen to you? She said, I think people think I'm going to fall. But she did not. And watch this transition from high to low. She was a little close on that, but she just latched onto that bar.
Well, that tells you she's pretty close to where she was as far as strength. That's a good sign for her. And to be able to do that dismount at the end of the bar routine, we talked about endurance and getting that back. That is not an easy thing to do in our sport.
For the comeback trail, I give that an A+ for her first effort.
That big sigh that you heard was the exhale of Gabby Douglas. 1 down, 3 to go.
You know, we talked with her and asked her about what the biggest challenge was, and initially she really didn't have one. And then finally she came around and she said, well, I guess endurance, and then she said, and maybe my patience, you know? It's hard to go from being an Olympic champion to not being able to do all of the things that were so easy for you in the past.
And Tim, you said she thought the crowd would expect her to make a lot of mistakes. I think it would be the opposite. If I was in her shoes, I feel like the expectations would be unrealistic. People think I'm the Olympic champ, here I come again, and I'm gonna win.
Right, and not just be what you were 2 years ago, but even be better. And we talked about it earlier, just to get back to the shape they were in 2 years ago is tremendously difficult. And then to exceed that, especially with all these new young stars coming up, is extremely hard.
And here's a score of 15.45.
That is gigantic, and you see that execution score of a 9.05. That is almost unattainable on the uneven bars. Most of the gymnasts will have more than a point off. That is a very, very strong start for Gabby.
Well, there's one person in the room that her opinion accounts more than anyone else's, and that's Marta Karolyi. And the fourth member of our broadcast team, Crystal Sonmore, caught up with her before the competition.
Tonight, Gabby and Ali make their domestic return, and it is a stacked field. What can we expect?
Oh, I'm so excited to see this competition, the 2 returning Olympians and 2 times world champion, Simone Biles. So will be a fierce competition, friendly but fierce, and this is the return for them, and will be very important to do the first step on their way to get ready toward World Championship this fall and Olympic Games next year.
All of these girls have trained under you over the years, and this week there's been talk that Rio will be your last at the helm. What do you have to say about that?
Oh, yeah, that's my decision, that it's time. You know, every good things come to the end, and I absolutely enjoyed my career leading the U.S. team, and I always will cherish the memories what I had.
Thank you so much, Marta.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Crystal. Possibly an end of an era, but certainly somebody who has accomplished just about everything you can in the world of gymnastics.
Marta
moving over to the balance beam. This is Bailey Key, and talk about somebody that's got a lot of expectations on them. She finally makes her debut as a senior here on domestic soil. Tim and Amanda, somebody that really were looking to maybe make that jump and be on that world team.
Well, this is really going to challenge her right now, starting on the most difficult event, the balance beam. She's been very successful as a junior and came out very strong this year at her first senior international competition. And her level of confidence, she really feels like, hey, you know what? I can hang with the seniors now.
Just to let people know, at her first ever senior competition, she beat the 2 Olympic champions that we're seeing here tonight, Allie Raisman and Gabby Douglas. So that's got to do something for your confidence.
First real big test right here. Very difficult, but she takes off with 2 feet and lands with 2 feet on that acrobatic element. Makes it much more challenging.
Well, it's also difficult to be clean on the execution. Every single landing on tumbling and jumps is important to maintain posture. Small balance check there.
But you know, she really has been coming for a long time. People have been talking about her as maybe the one for so many years. She had to miss the Classic last year with an elbow surgery and has really took a long time before competing again.
Solid.
Dismount here in combination. Double pike.
Great start.
And that is one thing that she does so well, just like this lady she's gonna hug right now, her coach, world champion Kim Zameskel. They are so tough, mentally strong athletes.
Here we go, Allie Raisman's debut.
Really difficult vault, 2.5 twists. The same vault that she performed at the Olympic Games. That is what I was most surprised about with Allie, and seeing her ability to be able to do that so quickly on this comeback. That vault is so challenging. A number of gymnasts can do it in the United States, but there's really only a handful else outside of the United States that can pull this off.
Well, Yurchenko, 2.5 twists. You can see a little off center there. She stayed on the mat, but like you mentioned, to be that far along in her vault training this early on in her comeback, absolutely impressive.
And you know, in training, I saw her try this the first time and she balked on it. She didn't do the 2.5 twists. It was kind of scary. The landing was a little shaky, but that is big time. 15.592 execution score. A phenomenal start for Allie Raisman.
So she gets out of the gate well, does Allie Raisman. It's got to feel good for both her and Gabby to get that first one under the belt. There's that deep exhale too. I'm almost doing it with her. I see her, I'm like, okay, we got that first one done. Young Bailey Key, only 16 years of age, got the beam over with. What a huge relief for her as well.
That's right, it's a tough one to start on, as we all know, just staying calm and handling the nerves, but when that one's out of the way, everybody breathes a little bit easier, especially coach right there.
And a 14.45 and 8.5 execution, guys, good?
It was very good, but she did have some balance checks in there, but that's all 3 of the athletes that we have seen so far have had an amazing start.
Well, bottom line is you got the beam over with, and now she can roll. But the bottom line is they're back. The question of will they has been answered. Now it's just a question of how far can they go. Welcome back to the Sears Center here in Hoffman Estates, Illinois in the 2015 Secret U.S. Classic. And Gabby Douglas became the 3rd American in a row, the 4th overall to win the Olympic all-around gold medal. And it seems like it's become a tradition in the United States. It's not a matter of if the U.S. will win, it's just who it's going to be. And right now, all eyes are on this young lady, Simone Biles. And when we talk about Simone, you might be talking about the greatest American gymnast ever. If she can keep this run going, Amanda, win the World Championships and win the Olympic Games, is she someone that you'd have that conversation about?
For sure. Her gymnastics is hands down not just powerful, her execution is unbelievable. And like we talked earlier, she is extremely tough to beat. She can make multiple mistakes and still those other athletes are going to have a tough time catching her.
Well, she competed in the American Cup this year, which is the major international meet on U.S. soil. She won that, but she didn't just win it. She won by 4.5 points. That's basically 4 falls that she could have had, and she still would have come out on top. She is not just dominant, she is overwhelming.
And you look at her bio and you start to go through the results and you're like, okay, when's the last time she didn't win all around? And you gotta kind of search through that bio nationally and internationally because she just doesn't get beat.
Yeah, in fact, Gabby and Allie both said they have been so impressed with her and that TV does not do justice to the amount of power that she brings to her gymnastics, and it's on all 4 events. Obviously, floor and vault, we'll see it, but you're gonna see tremendous power here on her balance beam skills.
She's going to do a wolf turn. Actually, Taryn Humphrey from the U.S. did that first.
You see a lot of athletes do the double turn, sometimes full. That was 2.5.
But watch this right here. This is new and a huge challenge for her. A front flip with a half twist. Done extremely well. Another test right here. 3 acrobatic elements in a row. Layout, step out, layout, step out. Perfect.
Beautiful. We talk about the power. Sometimes that can be difficult to control on this event. Something she's really worked hard on.
And that right there is an example of something that she was hoping to get a connection bonus on. She will not. She hesitated a little bit too much there. While she's been out here, she said that, I just really wish that I could once go up on balance beam and do it like I do it in training. I get so nervous. I start shaking and wobbling. You see one right there. So she's criticizing herself there. She's the world champion on balance beam.
That's right.
I was just gonna say.
And watch this right here. Full twisting double back. Unbelievable.
It almost looked like she didn't grab her legs, and the second flip looks like she's going to do an open tuck.
She makes those big skills look effortless.
Coach Amy Borman right there. The head coach at World Gymnastics Center. That facility owned by the Biles family. That was amazing. It was really amazing. So here's that combination acrobatic series. And the only place where she got a little funky, right there.
But this was definitely an exclamation point on this routine. You see a lot of double flips off the balance beam, not too many that have that added full twist in.
And it's not just that it's the hardest dismount being done in the world right now. She does it better than anybody else in the world. A lot of people that do it, they're landing all scrunched over, getting lots of deductions, not Simone.
Yeah, and she's always so fun to watch. That smile is on her face from start to finish. We talk about, can she handle the pressure? It always seems like she's out there just having a great time and doing amazing gymnastics.
Yeah, a lot of times gymnasts will talk about, oh, it's so fun, I'm having a great time, and I never really believe them. I'm like, competition is stressful, but she's starting to convince me. Like, she legitimately looks like this is just a good time for her. Michaela Skinner, member of the 2014 gold medal winning world championship team, is going to be next up on the balance beam. 18 years old. She was 5th last year in the all-around this event.
She also was at the American Cup this year, finished 2nd in the all-around, and it's been so fun to watch Michaela improve her gymnastics with the form and the technique.
They almost hit you? Yeah.
Judges are a little slow here early on.
Yeah, they are. They were slow on Gabby, and now we're seeing it slow. And You know, historically, that usually means that the score might be low, but I don't know how it's possible this one could be.
I had a chance to talk to some of the beam judges prior to the meet starting, and they said it's so difficult because the connections are so questionable. Some judges may give it, some might not, and it really depends on the angle. If they see the left foot wiggle, but the other side of the panel didn't see it. So that questioning of start value or the difficulty score comes into play a lot on the balance beam.
And always not a fun thing for the next gymnast up as we sit here, we can see Michaela Skinner getting ready to go. You kind of have this rhythm getting ready for your routine. And there's a 15.25, 8.5 in execution. I thought it was pretty clean. I don't know about you guys, other than that one wobble. Here we go with Michaela Skinner. I think a very important for her event for her, Tim and Amanda, as far as making that World Championship team this fall.
Yeah, I think so, but really what it comes down to is Michaela helps Team USA most on vaulting and floor exercise. She wants to show Marta that she can be consistent. There's no question about that. But her biggest value comes on those two events.
Big opening tumbling pass. Tuck full, oh.
I have not seen her fall on that all week long in training.
Toughest part about the balance beam, obviously, with it only being 4 inches wide, is sometimes before you know it, you're on the floor and you could almost see in her face what just happened.
Well, look at her left ankle right there. You see it heavily taped. Michaela actually missed a release on the uneven bars a couple months ago and really hurt her ankle badly. Her coaches tell me that she hardly has done any floor or vaulting. It's been a big struggle, they say.
Dismounting, round up double tuck. It's a tough start.
Yeah, that fall, that is a full point off. Plus some other stuff. It's really not the way you want to start, but she's got beam done.
That consistency you were talking about that you need to show Marta, not there. Hopefully she will get things back together. We head towards the national championships. You know, this is the last competition these gymnasts will be in before they get to the P&G championships, so kind of a tune-up. But certainly you want every chance you can to look good.
So watch this. This is a back handspring, and then she does a backflip with a full twist right there. It looks darn near perfect. I don't know, you know.
When she lands, this is going to give you a perfect view. You're going to see both of her feet are pretty good on, but she was a little bit forward in her shoulders. Looked like the left side of the body dropped, and she finished strong here. Double tuck, little forward there on the landing. And at this point, obviously not the routine that she wanted, but she's going into her 2 best events. She really just needs to let that go, kind of regroup.
How hard is that to let that go? You've been there, you've done the beam.
It is extremely tough, especially when it's your first event, knowing you have 3 more. And she's obviously a contender in the all-around. She has had strong performances in the last few years, and again, like I said, at the American Cup this year. But she definitely can make up some ground on floor and vault.
For me, it was always almost better after I fell because I was so darn mad and just angry at myself.
Next gymnast up, Alyssa Baumann, also a member of the 2014 gold medal winning World Championship team. Somebody that I was very impressed with in practice.
Beautiful gymnast, great lines, very difficult. That's called an Arabian. She jumps, does a half twist, and then a forward front flip.
And it's very difficult because you can't see the beam.
Oh, my goodness.
I was saying how difficult the landing of a front skill is, and of course then she did a leap, dropped her head back, and this is an outstanding event for her as well.
I believe this is the only event that she competed in the team finals at the World Championships in 2014.
She's beautiful rhythm, dancing in and out of her elements.
Beautiful Nodi. named after a Hungarian gymnast.
You can almost see that anger that you were talking about as an athlete. Every single skill has hit perfect since then. She's snapping those arms down, knowing this is one of her best events, not the routine she was looking for, but you can see just how beautiful she is, nailing that dismount. And there's the anger.
Oh man, if looks could kill.
Oh boy.
I know that feeling. That's a bummer too. You know, we watch the gymnast and we think of the obvious ones like Simone and a lot of talk about Bailey Key. And I watched her and I thought, you know, maybe she's one that could surprise today, but not going to happen, it looks like.
Well, it was on this leap. You can see she drops that head back, and by the time her head comes forward, the foot is on the beam. It's too late. That is what is so difficult about this event.
Yeah, a lot of these leaps, people think it's the acrobatic things that are difficult. That leap right there, one of the most difficult skills being done.
So not a great start for Alyssa Baumann, but she will move on to the floor exercise. The first rotation is done. We got our first taste of Olympic champions Aly Raisman and Gabby Douglas. I wonder what Marta Caroli thinks.
Yes, please, yeah.
The whole time.
No, we are.
No, we're not?
Yes, yes, we are.
Oh, we are.
Yep. Okay, and that's right after standings.
Okay, or who are you going to first on the react?
I'm not going to go to anybody. I'm going to let you guys just take it.
Oh,
you
come
guys,
right out of it?
Yep.
Okay.
Don't you think? I don't need to go. Just whoever wants to talk first. Amanda, you.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Okay.
We talked to them yesterday, Scott. Is that appropriate?
Are we done yet?
When are we back on camera?
Okay. Okay, so we're going to do the inside the arena shot and then just say, hey, the winner after one rotation, we didn't get to see her, but it's Maggie Nichols, and it's because of this vault. Okay.
Leader.
What did I say? Winner. She won the first rotation, Tim. Why you gotta?
Go ahead, you go with that, man. just go with it.
On this day, the Sears Center is the epicenter of women's gymnastics in the United States. Not only the collective best gymnasts in the United States, we have a comeback. Aly Raisman, Gabby Douglas, and so far so good for those two Olympic champions. But the leader after the first rotation was neither one of those girls. It was Maggie Nichols from Twin City Twisters in Minnesota, and it's because of this vault, you guys.
Well, we've been saying all week that she looks like she is in the best shape of her life, and watch this. Huge, Yurchenko, 2.5.
Fantastic. Huge power.
And that's why she's in first place with that 15.8. And look at that, Aly Raisman in second, Gabby Douglas in third. Obviously, it's early. We had a chance to catch up with Aly and Gabby yesterday, and they talked about their comeback.
After the Olympics, I really never thought about retiring. I always wanted to come back. And after, doing amazing opportunities, I missed the sport. So I was like, you know what, I really want to go back and, make a run for 2016. And I guess the thing that motivates me is no one has ever done it before, and my body feels great. I'm confident and strong than 2012, so there's a good opportunity, and I'm going to take it.
I wanted to come back because at the 2012 Olympics, I got 4th all around. I actually tied for 3rd place all around with one of the Russian girls, and they broke the tie. Gymnastics was the only sport at the time that broke the tie, so I unfortunately was in 4th place. And that's just something that is still kind of lingers in the back of my mind. And I still love gymnastics. I kind of feel like it's never enough. You can always do more, and I'm happy to be back. I still feel more motivated than ever.
Well, we've been talking about why this is so hard. Number one, they have to get back to where they were, but now it's new rules, higher expectations, and of course these younger athletes, and they're all gunning for the same goal.
Absolutely, and you know, after the first event, it couldn't have gone much better at all for either of them. Great start.
Great start for Gabby Douglas. Now the true test is when she moves to the balance beam. The second rotation gets underway when we return. Our current leader is Maggie Nichols as she gets ready for the uneven bars. And Tim, when we were watching practice, I think if you had to pick one girl that maybe jumped out more than you would have expected, it was probably Maggie Nichols.
It absolutely was. And you know, that was a huge vault, and it's an upgrade for her. But on uneven bars, on floor exercise, on balance beam, she looks so much better on every single event. It's amazing. Her coach, Mike Hunger, said that she got injured last year at Pan Am's, came back, did therapy for about 8 weeks, and he says it was like a switch getting turned. She came back a different kid. Wasn't going to let not winning be a part of her formula.
Well, you can see has this element of confidence now as well. Very difficult connection work there. Beautiful handstands and toe point.
Looked great in training, but you got to get it done in the competition, and that's 2 for 2.
Very strong
for you,
routine.
Maggie. Wow.
Very businesslike. Just gets through it, done, turn to the judge, and let's move on. Nicely done. Now back over to the balance beam and our second look at 2012 Olympic all-around champ, Gabby Douglas.
Well, if she can deal with this pressure right here, I would say that is an exclamation mark on her comeback attempt, because physically, she's told us, she's better than she was in 2012.
And she looks solid.
Big element, back with a full.
Standing full.
Same element we saw Michaela Skinner go down on.
Wow.
She looks absolutely unfazed.
We talked about the physical part of coming back in this sport, but one element that is very difficult is to come back into that competitive world when you've been out of it. There is nothing like competing in this environment, and the more you do it, the better you get. So to be absent since 2012 and be able to come back this strong.
Haven't seen her do this dismount at the end of any beam routine in training. Seen her do it by itself, but she's tired now. And she puts it to her feet.
Unbelievable. I hate it when people use the word gamer, but she looks like a new person, even from training. We didn't think she could be able to get through that based on her training, but that was money.
Well, you can see that there's, something about a person that is competitive, and that is exactly what we just saw in that routine. But the one thing that she struggled on was that dismount. This tumbling pass, beautiful. She mentioned to us it's been the endurance, it's been the strength, and it showed up a little bit in the dismount, but boy, she knew what to do. She put those feet down and stayed on her feet.
I really didn't think she would look this calm. I really didn't. It's impressive.
Bailey Key put up a 14.45 on her first event, the balance beam. Now she gets to move over to the floor exercise.
And her coach, Kim Zemeskel, told me she's got a major upgrade. This first tumbling pass, double flip in the laid out position. Nicely done.
Wow, looked like she almost missed a leg there, but held on to it. Had a chance to talk to her coaches ahead of time, and they said new music, and we actually added some sound effects, and you can hear those throughout the routine. Different accents.
It's got some Cirque du Soleil components in it. Very difficult combination. Another great routine from Bailey Key. Just that third tumbling run didn't quite get that triple twist around. Legs were a little bit split, but excellent job.
Gabby Douglas' score on the balance beam of 14.9. So another outstanding performance for her. Judges don't want to come up much on that 8.5 execution score, however. And Simone Biles, every gymnast wants to win the gold medal, but every gymnast also wants to get their name in the holy grail of gymnastics, and that's the code of points. And Simone Biles has done that with this. An unreal skill. And it's even better when you get your name in the code of points and no one else in the world can do it. We're going to get a chance to see Simone Biles do the Biles when we come back. Young Bailey Key is halfway through her competition, and so far she has made a very solid mark. That's her score on floor exercise of 14.8, coming off a very solid beam routine. Now we get to go to the world champion, Simone Biles. We teased the Biles coming into this rotation. Now you get to see it in action.
This routine, the tumbling in this routine, it blows away the top male gymnasts in the world.
I was just going to say that. The Biles is cool, but there's also 3 other passes that she does that are remarkable.
I have to move away from Tim a little bit during this routine. He starts to get a little overexcited.
Look out. Ginormous air. And she's got a sassy new routine, and I love it. It is off the charts. Here it is.
Connected to that jump out.
I said to Simone, I said, you do know that your tumbling is not normal. And she went, yeah, I know.
I hope she took that as a compliment.
Third pass, double-double. With what, 2 steps into it?
Wow. Nobody else is even close.
Unbelievable. We got a ginormous out of Tim during that routine, so it had to be good. You know, Maggie Nichols still had the lead. She got a 14.95 on bars, held the lead, but I got to say it's probably in jeopardy after this floor routine.
Well, that routine, it never gets old watching her tumble, and this is the pass that is named after her double layout. She does a half turn on the second part of that flip. She does a great job. You can see her eyes actually spot the floor, and it makes it a little easier to connect out or land perfect.
Whatever I win.
Tough act to follow, but if anybody can do it, Allie Raisman, Olympic champ, moves to her second event. Probably not her strongest event, the uneven bars, but
yeah, if there's a place where Allie struggles her entire career, it's been the uneven bars. She told me, though, that she's more confident, she's better now than she was in 2012 on bars. But you see the leg separations.
Wow. Tremendous strength there, connecting those elements. We have talked about it before when she was leading into 2012 about those leg separations, and that's something she has to work really hard on. And I'm pretty confident once she gets back in the shape that she needs to be in to nail this bar routine all the time, she's going to clean up those forms because she knows it's so important. But the big skills are there.
bottom line, hitting routines. You know, not her best event, but man, just getting up there and being a machine. And that's where you got to start, right?
Yeah, without a doubt. It was good. It was good for Allie Raisman. But look, you see the feet come apart a little bit. Double front, blind landing, just a small little hop on the landing. But it's really the place where she can make a big difference. Her coach, lifelong coach, well, not lifelong, but for a long, long time, Mihai Brestian out of Massachusetts. Also the coach of Elisa Sacramone.
Second.
Simone Biles not even breathing hard after that routine. Waiting for her score. Very well could take the lead. As we mentioned, that Maggie Nichols had the lead after that bar routine. Gabby Douglas was in second. Bailey Key, after floor exercise, was in third.
Good job, Allie!
Two great events for Allie coming up. She's got the balance being what she's been very good at least the last time we saw her, and floor, which she owns the Olympic gold medal on. So got through that tough one and a couple good ones yet to come.
Honestly, I have no idea what they could be talking about for Simone's floor.
Yep.
Yeah. We can have bars, right?
Maybe they just can't believe they're about to throw that high of a score.
Well, yeah, it's difficulty and, I mean, phenomenal execution. Look at that.
Yeah, once again, that 915 execution, you just do not see that on events like floor exercise. You usually see like an 85, somewhere around where Bailey Key got. And then she's got the difficulty that is just, off the charts, 6.9.
Well, that's what I was going to say. A lot of times the athletes that perform the difficulty aren't able to hold on the execution score, and that is what has made Simone Biles so difficult to catch, is that she can do both scores.
Michaela Skinner getting ready to go. I'm going to get the negatrometer going right now because that 915 might be good, but seriously, they found 8.5 tenths off.
Absolutely, yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I agree.
If something is state-of-the-art, there should be no deduction. And that was state-of-the-art.
No one in the world can do it better.
Remember, she has that left ankle taped. One of her first routines.
A little short there. Another athlete that has tremendous difficulty on this event, Michaela Skinner. Coming right back, same pass, different position. I believe that was supposed to be a 2.5 twist. Tim, like you mentioned, with a sore ankle, not doing a lot on this event, this is a tough thing to do because the tremendous endurance it takes with this level of difficulty. Oh!
And that was somewhat catastrophic right there, because this is an event that Marta is looking for a big number.
A 14.2 for Allie Raisman on bars. Not a bad score considering it's not her best event.
Yeah, and like I said, I feel like she has a lot of room to improve. I think that she's older and understands how important those details are, and I have no doubt that it's something she's going to really spend time working on.
One person we haven't talked about a whole lot, she's just an Olympic gold medalist and a world all-around silver medalist, is Kyla Ross. Our fourth member of the broadcast team, Crystal Sonmore, has a little bit more on Kyla and what she's been up to in the last year.
Yeah, Kyla Ross and Gabby Douglas, both those ladies just graduated from high school earlier this summer, which is hard to imagine that these girls try to balance both gymnastics and a time in high school. But now they're over with high school. For Gabby, she said it was quite interesting. On social media, she posted a picture in her cap and gown at the airport. She said immediately after she got her diploma, she took off her heels, ran to the side, got in a plane to take a red-eye back to Columbus. That next morning, she was back training, and she said, quote, "That was a rough morning." For Kyla, she was one that tried to stay in school, take classes. She did not like homeschooling, and so this is what she had to say when she finally graduated.
Congratulations, Kyla. Amanda, you were in a similar situation that Kyla was prior to the Olympics in 1996, right?
That's right. In fact, I graduated the year before, just like Kyla, and honestly, it was the exact thing that I needed for my gymnastics leading into the Olympics. It was 100% me and my gymnastics, and it helped obviously in my training, but it was other elements like being able to go to therapy in between workouts, being able to make sure I could get to bed on time and get the recovery time my body needed, and I'll tell you what, it definitely paid off.
She's got just gymnastics to focus on for one more year prior to Rio. Kyla Ross gets ready to go on the uneven bars. When we come back, we will see just that. Olympic champ, Kyla Ross.
Do you want me to introduce her, or are those guys going to?
Still in rotation 2 as we finish the uneven bars. Kyla Ross gets her chance to go. She's not doing all around today, not doing the floor and the vault. Had a little bit of a foot bruise or a heel bruise, but really playing it safe. I don't think Kyla Ross has anything to prove to anybody here at the Secret US Classic, Tim. I think she's focusing on bigger things later this year.
You know, absolutely. And, you know, we've got, everybody's talking about Gabby and Allie being back, trying to come back. Kyla never went away. You know, she was only 15 years old at the Olympic Games, and she said, God, 15 years old, how can I stop at that point? And she didn't. She went right back into the gym and continued to train, has won just a bunch of world medals since that time. And I think really what it comes down to for Kyla is she had international Olympic success. She has a gold medal, but it's a team gold medal, and she's very proud of that. But I think what she's looking for is she's looking for something individual at an Olympic Games. She wants to go to the Olympics. Obviously, the team is going to be in contention. They'll probably win the gold medal, but I think she wants an individual one, too.
Well, and I think for her, these last few years have been years of gaining experience as that individual athlete. And while she's not doing the all-around here, you're going to see why she is such a standout on this event. She is absolutely beautiful.
Very tall for a gymnast. Makes it super challenging. Check this out right here. New move.
Oh!
Ouch.
Oh. An upgrade.
Well, difficult connection.
And right here, this is called a Bahardwaj after Mohini Bahardwaj.
Ooh, looks like she took it off the wrist.
Yeah, that right hand just didn't get on top of the bar. It just slipped right off. We've seen her nail that
absolutely
in practice and warm-ups
yes.
here in Chicago.
And, you know, everybody talks about Kyla, about her work ethic. She is just a machine. Oh, wow. And this is something that you just never see. But, you know, I have seen her acting like she's having grip problems on the uneven bars. Her coach, Howie Liang there, he has been feverishly preparing the bars, and she has taken some turns here where it just looks like the grip is bothering her. All of the gymnasts like it a little bit differently. Some like the bars bare. She likes a ton of chalk on there. There you go.
This event can often be very difficult because it's all about rhythm. And when you break that rhythm or stop the routine midway, sometimes it can be tough to bounce back.
This is going to be hard right here. Big release. And this right here she has struggled on. Right here, this hop, right there. Got to work hard on this.
Caught her heel. Wow. Held on to it. She actually caught her heel on the low bar, which definitely can slow your momentum. And that double front blind landing, very difficult. But if you come up short at all, it is very easy to sit it down, and she held on to it.
What a fighter.
Yeah, absolutely.
There is your current leader, Simone Biles. Maggie Nichols had the lead, but the lead was a short-lived one because the champ is back on top halfway through this, the Secret US Classic, live here on Universal Sports.
On Friday night, Shawn Johnson threw the first pitch at the Cubs game, and then she had a little bit of a surprise on that left finger. Let's see what you got.
Thank you.
Just a little bling bling. Were you?
Can you stop my documents and bring my bean card?
Are we doing anything on the junior event?
No, I think this is.
Okay, Sean.
Yeah.
And we're not in this at all.
Oh.
John, he just was.
I like the spotlight, you know me. That's a great. Downtown Chicago in the summer, it's a lot different. Come back in January, it's going to look a whole lot different. But it's a great city, one of the great American cities. Chicago, Illinois. Watch that right turn there. Here's Kyla Ross, just finished her bar routine, just trying to recoup. Not a good experience. I think as a gymnast, we've all had those moments. But she's got one event left. She's just going to be doing the balance beam in addition to the uneven bars today, just trying to get some rust off, get in the groove as they head into the P&G National Championships. So we've had a little bit of a slow rotation, so we should be done with the second rotation, but we are still in the second rotation, finishing the balance beam. And this is Kylie Dixon from All Olympia Gymnastics, 16 years old.
She's from the gym that produced Michaela Maroney. Everybody remembers that name. At the 2012 Olympic Games in the team finals, she did a perfect vault, which was one of the highlights for Team USA. She actually was destined to be the Olympic champion on vault, had a fall, came back to a World Championships and won that title back, has been injured. And her status is unknown at this point as for whether she'll come back at all.
Beautiful long legs. Oh. Small balance check there. On this event, you'll see on leaps and jumps, her long lines make a big difference.
Balance beam has been brutal today, though. A little too long right there.
That's right, the judges looking for that artistry and the rhythm throughout the entire routine. You can see her pausing and standing. They want to see dancing in and out, and of course, major mistake there. I know, Tim, we've talked about in years past, for me as an athlete, this competition was sometimes tough because you don't want to be at your best yet for the year, yet you're out in the spotlight. And so for these athletes, they're finally putting these routines together fully, putting the difficulty in, and not quite up to where they're hoping to be by the P&G Championship and, of course, the World Championship.
Just a dismount right here. Nice 2.5, great form in the air.
So unfortunately, the balance beam claims another victim. Rough rotation for that event. Sometimes you just want to put it in the rear view mirror. Simone Biles looks good though. Part of the course, she's just going to start racking up more trophies. We're halfway through the Secret US Classic.
Oh God, really? What was that?
Bad way. Holy cow. All right, hook me up. What are we doing? Are we doing the Shawn interview?
Let's all sit down. Have a prayer session. Poor Alyssa.
Now on balance beam for Great American, Sabrina Vega.
Come on, Sabby. Come on, you got it.
See? I was right.
Nice. Come on. Come on, you got it. Come on, Sabby. Bailey, you're first on ball. Come on. Good. Nice. Come on, Sabby. Come on. Good.
This concludes competition. Second rotation. Gymnasts may now advance to their third event in the 2015 Secret US Classic.
Welcome back to the 2015 Secret US Classic. No, that is not the Hoffman Estates skyline. That is beautiful downtown Chicago. We are halfway through the Secret US Classic. John Roethlisberger, Tim Daggett, Amanda Borden, and Crystal Sonmore. These are our standings. Simone Biles has got the lead where she is accustomed to being, but Maggie Nichols, a little bit of a surprise halfway through, sits in second place. But look at that, Olympic champs Gabby Douglas, Allie Ray's been sitting in third and fourth place, and with some very good events yet to come, they may even move up Bailey Key, the youngster, in fifth place. Earlier, Crystal Sonmore had a chance to catch up with someone that's got a little bit of info on what it's like to try to make a comeback.
On Friday night, Shawn Johnson threw the first pitch at the Cubs game, and then she had a little bit of a surprise on that left finger. Let's see what you got. Just a little bling bling. Were you expecting that?
No, not at all. I mean, it completely threw me for a loop. I was more terrified to throw out the pitch than anything, so I was really distracted by that. I had no idea it was coming.
And now her fiance. Is it weird when you hear that?
It's so weird, so weird. Someone asked me to introduce him yesterday, and I was like, this is my boyfriend. Oh, wait, this is my fiance. It's really weird.
Now her fiance, Andrew East, also an athlete playing for the Kansas City Chiefs. What is that dynamic like? Both very strong athletes.
It works. It's super easy just because we kind of understand each other. Me being kind of a retired athlete, he's getting into it, and so I feel like I can really support him and understand his frustrations and hurdles.
And then looking forward and looking at all these girls here at the Secret Classic, what kind of advice would you give girls like Gabby and Allie who are trying to make that return, which is extremely difficult to do?
It is extremely difficult. I mean, I didn't succeed, but they're doing an incredible job. I'm floored watching them out here, and I honestly think they have it, and they'll make it all the way back, but just trust themselves. They've done it once, they can do it again.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Crystal. Gabby Douglas warms up on the vault. That'll be her third rotation, on the floor exercise. Allie Raisman gets ready to go on her next event, and we have a lot more gymnastics yet to come. When we come back out of break, the youngster Bailey Key will lead off the third rotation.
This concludes the warm-up, and competition will begin for rotation 3.
She said she's been ready to compete with the big dogs for about a year. Unfortunately, injuries have slowed her down a little bit, but Bailey Key finds herself right in the mix. She sits in the 5th spot. Incidentally, after that 5th spot, it's a big drop-off, but here she goes on her 3rd event, vault.
Very clean. She's going to do a Yurchenko double full, which is not as difficult as some of the athletes we've seen so far. 5/10 less. A nice vault, but a little bit over in a very big step on the landing, but very clean.
So is this a vault that looks like one that could have a half twist added to it by next summer?
Well, yeah, absolutely. I would say it has the potential to happen, you know, right away. I know that she trains it. I know that she's been able to do it. It's just, it kind of gets in your head that extra half twist for some athletes is just, you know, very, very difficult.
But you see she has good direction because she's able to push off both hands. A lot of times when they start doing the 2.5, you'll see that early turn with the shoulders and they go out of bounds. So the technique is there. It's just adding the strength and power, and it's very important to have those two elements before you add that half twist.
She always seems pretty just cool, calm, and collected, though.
Absolutely.
That's right. Reminder, it's her first time in the senior competition as a senior. Last year she competed with the seniors, but she was a junior.
Has had one meet prior internationally in competition in Italy, where she was runner-up, as John mentioned, to Simone Biles.
And Simone is getting ready to go. We saw her standing by the stairs. The ritual in the gymnastics competition, mount the podium, wait for the green flag. And for Simone Biles, you know, she does the toughest vault in the world, but she makes it look so easy like everything else. And Tim, I couldn't help myself but rewind last year's show, and you said Simone Biles was the second best vaulter in the world. Do you want to recant that statement? Would you like to change it at this point in time?
Well, she was second at the World Championships, and I personally thought that she was better. But she's working on a second vault that if she's capable of doing that, she'll be untouchable unless she falls. Michaela Maroney was untouchable on vaulting, but she had a very unusual fall at the Olympic Games. But yesterday in training, she did a few of these vaults that we're going to see first. That 2.5 twist that we saw from Allie Raceman and Maggie Nichols, and she thought she was way off. And she was a little off, but she made it easy. Here we go.
Wow. I thought it was a great comment when Gabby and Allie said, TV does not do her power justice, and that's the event that is most noticeable. When you watch that vault live, she is so far above everybody else when it comes to height.
So look at, she drives her arms back and just explodes off that table. Center of gravity rising.
Gives her enough time to get 2.5 twists done effortlessly and put a clean landing on it. And of course, she's right down that center line. Those are all important factors on this event.
Unbelievable.
Now this vault, she's going to do a little bit differently. She'll do that round off or that half turn onto the board. Then she'll do another half turn onto the vaulting table, leave the table, and do a front laid out somersault with a half twist. She's capable of adding a full twist. She was hopeful that she would do it here. She said maybe at P&G's. I had 1/10 off on that ball. Absolutely. They'll have about 4 or 5.
Wow.
Gorgeous.
You can see, no problem. She's going to be able to add that extra twist in.
Now over to the balance beam, Allie Raceman. Getting ready to go. We see a 15-4, 14-2 for her first 2 events. Now a chance to really move up on a couple of events she can put up big numbers.
I watched her in the warm-ups on this event, and when she did the routine, I looked at Tim and said, wow, that was unbelievable. She needs to stay calm and confident and repeat that routine one more time right here.
Here we go. You see that connection right there, that laid out flip into the leap. She says that if she doesn't get the connections in this routine, her start value, her maximum score that she can get is going to be really low. It's something that she didn't have to deal with in 2012. They have changed the rules. They raised the hoop in basketball, as John Roethlisberger said.
That being one of those connections, a little slow. Something that might take the judges a few minutes to kind of debate. Do we give it or not?
Right there as well.
It's got to be so hard in this event, Amanda, to keep it moving, because you're finishing something that's really hard and you can't wait. You can't decide if you're on. You got to go.
That's right. And, you know, it's so tough. It's an event. You have to take one scale at a time. You can't get ahead of yourself, yet you can't move too slow on those connections, because in this case, it's going to highly affect that start value.
Big dismount here. It's a Carly Patterson dismount, Olympic all-around champion, and that was phenomenal. Wow.
Wow. The routine that she did in the warm-ups had no breaks, no wobbles. She did have a few balance checks throughout, but to do that routine in competition for the first time in front of a U.S. crowd, absolutely amazing.
Simone Biles on the vault, a 16.0. Tim, you are way off. 3/10 deduction on that vault, not 1/10, but I tend to agree with you. They got a little bit greedy with those deductions, but amazing. She will have the lead. Michaela Skinner, your next vaulter to go, a bronze medalist at the World Championships on this event.
But really trying to dig out of a massive hole. 2 events, 2 falls. She's going to do similar to what Simone did, that half turn right here. But she adds the extra full twist. Nice job.
Yeah, that start value is actually even a little bit higher than the Yurchenko 2.5.
16.4 maximum score. Now watch what she does though. Some people criticize that one of her arms barely touches that table. And you see the body position. For it to be valued at a 16.4, it has to remain completely stretched. Her body gets a little bit piked, but it's still a world-class vault.
Tim, was that gymnastics 101 on the landing, though?
Absolutely, John.
Stuck landing.
I'm interested to see what she's going to do for her second vault. I've seen her warming up the Yurchenko double full and the Yurchenko 2.5.
Yeah, I think she's going to do just a double full, especially with, you know, having the problems on the first two events with that ankle.
The way the day's been going for her, it might just be a day you want to get through.
Absolutely. Lisa Spini spoke with her right before the competition. She thought that that would be the plan. But you never know. You know, when you have a rough day and you weren't expecting it, you know, this could be major redemption if she goes for it. I don't think she will.
A 15.1 for Michaela's first vault.
Just the double full, but done very well.
Yeah, that was one of the best vaults I've seen from her. Strong finish.
One more event to go before Michaela Skinner will be the bars, and that young lady's got to be happy. 3 for 3. I just figured out what I needed to do in my career, you guys. I should have taken 2 years off and come back, because this girl, she looks great. 15.1 for Olympic champ Allie Raisman on the balance beam. If Kyla Ross is going to make it back to another Olympic Games, it's largely going to come down to her uneven bars and balance beam. Unfortunately, bars did not go well today at 12.25. She's not competing on vault and floor due to a slight injury, a bruise to her heel that she certainly will be back from. But now she gets a chance at redemption on an event that she won the world silver medal to balance beam.
She is stunning on this event. Her artistry.
Very nice.
Quick combination work.
doesn't have the highest difficulty, but she does the routine so well. Time after time, Marta Caroli calls her a beamer. Beautiful extension all the way through her feet, her toes on that layout step out.
Difficult. Switch ring. Anytime you take your eyes off the balance beam, it's a very challenging thing. And of course, in a large arena, wow, she hung on with those toes. Beautiful posture.
Round off double back tuck for her dismount. This is the Kyla we are used to seeing. Almost a stuck landing, a little bit low with the chest, but
That's a nice recovery. You mentioned the struggles on bars. It wasn't a small struggle. She actually had 2 falls, and to be able to rebound coming back to this event, very difficult.
Moving over to the floor exercise, our gymnast that's sitting in 3rd place, Gabby Douglas. You can see what she's done on bars and beam. Now she gets ready to go on floor and ball, typically 2 events that she's been very good at. However, we haven't seen her for 3 years, so we're not sure what to expect.
Well, you know, she had so much energy coming off the beam. Her first tumbling pass on floor, she was warming up a double tuck. She was so powerful. She rebounded about 5 feet in the air and landed flat on her back. It was very safe. It startled the crowd, but she jumped up and said, "Wow, I'm okay though, don't worry."
Easy for you to say it was safe, Amanda. You're sitting back here behind the table.
I was waiting for the crowd to get along with that beat. I am so impressed. She looks calm. She mentioned the endurance factor, but so far, all 3 events that would require the endurance have been great.
what makes this first pass so difficult is that she does a combination out of it. She'll rebound right out of it into a leap. Does it very well.
When you could see when she opened, she's really looking at the crowd.
Nice double pike. Just that slight slide to the side. But another big one for Gabby Douglas.
When we talked to Gabby Douglas yesterday, we asked her if she could hang with the big dogs today, and she said, just wait and see. We'll wait no longer. Gabby Douglas is back.
Secret Clinical Strength is proud to support USA Gymnastics fearless athletes. Uniquely formulated to fight the three main causes of sweat, heat, activity, and stress. Secret Clinical Strength is clinically proven to provide prescription strength wetness protection and 48-hour odor protection.
Gabby Douglas warms up her final event after a 15.0. A surprising 9.1 execution. That is a tough execution score to come by, but she did it after a 3-year hiatus. She is back in the swing of things and looking fantastic. Simone Biles, meanwhile, it's just business as usual for Simone. Just comes in, hits routines, and those routines are just flat out better than anyone else in the world. And she is in that top spot again and looking to pull off another win. Here are your standings after 3 rotations. Simone Biles, as we mentioned, look at that 2-point lead after 3 with 1 more to go. She could extend it. Gabby Douglas, the surprise in 2nd place. Maggie Nichols from Twin City Twister sits in 3rd after a 14.45 on the balance beam. But Simone Biles, your champ, tries to get another secret U.S. Classic win and continue her 3-year undefeated streak. Welcome back to the Sears Center in the 2015 Secret U.S. Classic live on Universal Sports, and that is our leader. And you know, this competition doesn't necessarily directly apply to the next event, but I tell you what, it bodes well if you win, because you look down that list. Kyla Ross wins it in 2013, Simone Biles in 14, and Allie Raisman won it twice. those young ladies have got quite a resume, so it doesn't hurt to do well at the Secret US Classic.
For sure, it's a great opportunity and a kickoff for their season.
And it makes sense, you know, if you do well here, it means you're in good shape and you're ready to go, and that just means you're going to be a little bit better at the championships and hopefully at the World Championships.
Right, for these top athletes, it's going to be fine-tuning over the next few weeks.
Madison Koshin, our first chance to see her today at this competition. She's not doing all around. She did do balance beam earlier in the evening, and she didn't do outstanding, scored a 13.85, hoping to up the ante here a little bit, and she was a member of that 2014 team that won a world gold medal.
And she contributed to that. She competed on the uneven bars in the team finals. So she is world champion for life. I tell you, she's a beautiful gymnast. I love her work. She is a little bit fragile, though. Unfortunately, she's had a number of ankle injuries. Just needs to get in control of that, and I think her future is very bright. Great lines, beautiful handstand position. Gorgeous.
You see so many great skills now. It's elements like that. It's amplitude, combination, and then the execution. Detail to the angles, one element that can really affect the execution score on this event. Nailing every single one of those turning elements within that 10 degrees of the handstand.
Oh, I love this kid on bar. She's awesome. That was beautiful. And this is where the judges should differentiate, because so beautiful line, great handstand positions, and not just doing releases, but flying on them.
Right, every single one of them had the perfect form and execution, but it was amplitude and the details that, you know, sometimes the judges don't reward the difference, and this routine clearly was far above in that department.
Nice release right here. Beautiful front flip catch. She does nice combination right into her dismount. Full twisting double, just a small little hop forward, but I thought that was great.
Job for Madison Koshin. Simone Biles getting the game face on. You can see the scores that she's put up. The low score of a 15.25 on beam.
But if there's a place, John, where Simone struggles a little bit, it's the uneven bars. And she recognizes that. At one point, she told me that she would love to take a chainsaw to every set of uneven bars in the United States of America.
That's funny. I thought the same thing about pommel horse on more than one occasion.
We're talking about Simone now, John. But the reason, I said, so why, Simone? Yeah. And she said, I like my teeth, you know? And those releases, you know, if you're a little bit too close, you know, it can be problematic. But
yeah. You know what's funny, though? She's not that bad on bars. She makes it sound like she's horrible, but, you know, maybe relative to her vault or her floor, but she can swing some bars, this girl can.
Yeah, which a lot of times, you know, you see an athlete like her, I mean, she's known for her power, and sometimes this event is not great for power athletes. That element right there is an element of strength to start the routine off. Huge height there.
Watch, he'll do another couple of releases in a row. Now transition, beautiful. She does not give a lot away. A little short on that handstand. Ooh. Oh, man.
I'm just going to say it before you guys do. There's your 2015 Secret US Classic, and the streak continues, and that streak, it's so impressive, and I know this meet won't necessarily show up on her radar of accomplishments when it's all said and done, but every gymnast has a bad day except for her, it seems like.
Yeah.
Well, we mentioned this is not her best event, but these elements are still very difficult. As we've talked about all night, her execution is still very good, which is tough to do. Chest perfect up on that landing, and once again, nails it.
Yeah, she's the champ, without a doubt, and she is so far and away better than everybody else right now.
Allie Raisman getting ready to go on the floor exercise, an outstanding event for her. Last time we saw her compete it, she just won the Olympic gold medal is all she did. We'll get back to Simone's score after this routine as well.
Yeah, she clinched it with her floor routine, and I remember her almost breaking down right at the end of her last tumbling pass. So sincere, so heartfelt, and this is crazy difficult. Now watch this, and punch front.
Unbelievable. That combination just to the double Arabian in itself would be difficult, but to do a blind landing, punch to a front layout.
And actually, this next pass is an upgrade from the Olympic Games. I've never seen a female gymnast do this. An Arabian double pike, and once again, she'll rebound forward, do a front flip out of it.
Oh! Came up a little short. Wasn't able to open up out of the pike position.
Well, she has made everything look so easy so far today, but everything she's doing is hard, and mistakes can happen. Got to be exhausted. No problem.
Obviously, a little disappointed with that mistake, but tremendous difficulty, and what a day to watch her come out here.
Yeah, I don't care what anybody says, you know. I mean, yes, she had that mistake there, but mission accomplished.
Absolutely. Speaking of mission accomplished, one more to go for Gabby Douglas. Had an outstanding day, currently sits in second place.
Wow. She's got some competitive chops, that's for sure. Now she's still got a little ways to go to get back to her Olympic form. She's not doing that extra half twist like she did in London.
Yeah, but what made this vault so great is the form and technique. Looked effortless, nice and straight, opens up. She had plenty of time. Kind of stood there and enjoyed the moment, looked around.
Well, you know what this is telling? Not just the comebacks for Allie and Gabby, but for the rest of the world. They're probably going, geez, what is going on? How? I mean, the USA was so dominant before, and now they've got these two gamers back again.
And they look great. A 15.1 for Simone Biles on her bar routine. A great score for her on that event.
Absolutely.
Michaela Skinner getting ready to go on what has been a less than stellar day for her. Certainly one she'll want to put in the rearview mirror, but hopefully learn something from and get ready for the P&G Championships as she'll finish up on the bars.
This is also the event where Michaela struggles on. She said she likes bars, it's just everything never comes easy. Nothing comes easy, she says, on this event.
Michaela's a fighter, though. She has been that athlete that sticks to it, never gives up, and that is the exact kind of day that she had. She's had hindered her training.
Good routine. Fall on her. That was very good.
14.35. So you can see that score, a very high difficult start, 6.5, but only a 7.85 for that execution. Not the way she wanted to finish, but overall a great day. Gabby Douglas, on the other hand, finishes strong, a 15.2 on vault. What a day, what a comeback for the Olympic champ, Gabby Douglas. But Simone Biles does it again. If this isn't as good as she can be, I'll be tuning into the World Championships for sure. The beautiful Navy Pier just off downtown Chicago. It's 3,300 feet long, if in case anybody was wondering. And it also hosts one of the biggest junior competitions in the world, the Chicago style competition, every January or February. A great competition. Love going there. Maggie Nichols sitting in third place after the third rotation. We believe, and I had Tim do the math, so it could be wrong, but we believe she needs better than a 15.3 to move ahead of Gabby Douglas into that second spot. She did get third place last year at this competition, so even though she might end up in the third spot again this year, I feel like she's a different gymnast, and I think you guys would agree.
Completely.
Right.
There's no doubt about that. She did well here last year, as you said, John, but I don't think she was certainly in Marta Karolyi's radar for one of those world team or Olympic team positions. But without a doubt, she has proved today that she is in that race. She'll start with a very powerful tumbling run, double twisting, double somersault. Nicely done.
Beautiful. We talked early in the competition about her confidence, and there is something definitely different about her coming into this competition, and that has showed on all four events in the small improvements and the details. But she has delivered clean routines every single time, and this is the final tumbling pass tonight. Whatever is different, I definitely like it.
Keep doing it. That was fantastic. What a day for Maggie Nichols. I'll tell you what, you put her in a world championships, and she's a contender in the all-around to be on the podium the way she performed today. Fantastic job.
Well, I think for the United States women, it might be harder to get in the all-around lineup than it is to actually get on the podium at the World Championships. They've got a slew of girls that seem like they could be up there. Simone Biles, again, is your winner. No one can catch her. There are a few gymnasts still battling for that podium spot, although it's still going to be a long shot. I think Bailey Key might be the next best gymnast who's got a shot to jump up there, but she's going to have to do something through the roof on the uneven bars to catch Gabby Douglas and Maggie Nichols. But Relaxed as always is Simone Biles. And we saw Gabby Douglas smile after that vault. We really haven't seen her smile much today. Even after her hit routines, it's just that straight business-like face. But she smiled. She couldn't help herself after vault. She looked happy, and she should be. Ashton Locklear getting ready to go on the uneven bars. An event, Tim, that I think really got her on that World Championship team last year, and she contributed big time for Team USA, winning that World Team Gold.
Absolutely. It was the reason why she made that trip, and she was very valuable to Team USA because of her uneven bar prowess. As you saw, she was the national champion last year. She was actually 4th on the uneven bars in Nanning, China at the World Championships in 2014.
And she's been waiting all night for this event. She has not competed on the other 3 events, which is tough to do. She did the warm-ups, the open stretch, the warm-up on bars, and then has to sit through 3 events of competition and yet stay kind of in that same mindset that you need to be as an athlete. You can't let down.
Amanda, for Ashton, if she's not the U.S. national champion on bars or even in the top 2 or 3, can she get to Rio?
Honestly, we've been talking about who's going to Rio. I mean, after tonight, I think there are a lot of minds being changed on what's going to happen. And the reality is, I mean, it is going to be tough for all these athletes. They're going to have to be phenomenal at whatever they do, whether that's in the all-around or an event like this. And so far, this bar routine has been beautiful. Multiple releases connected.
Nice line, good handstand position right there. Another beautiful, it's called a Jaeger, that front flip re-catch of the bar. Oh, he spotted her, and he spotted her there too. So,
why do you think that is, Tim? Is she just gassed and he could tell, or?
Yeah, I think that they're just being careful. You know, this isn't the end game at all. You know, the P&G Championships is definitely what they're looking for, to have a great competition and be in contention for that world team.
And there's our gymnast who's sitting in the 5th spot after 3 rotations, Bailey Key. I think she lived largely up to expectations. You know, she's got some pretty high expectations on her. A lot of people thought over the last year that she might be somebody contending for an Olympic all-around gold medal. I don't, think we want to get ahead of ourselves, but she's had a good showing today.
Well, she has a big combination in this routine.
I don't know how they're doing this because we don't even have a score yet. So maybe
apparently, for some reason, they're not scoring Ashton Locklear. We don't know why.
She struggled on that move, that transition from high to low in training.
Wow, and a great save there. She was a little off center. Wow.
She's tough. She is really a competitor. She's one of those kids that can do their best job when the money's on the line.
And it looked like Bailey Key might just miss the podium. Maggie Nichols is the person keeping her out, but for Simone Biles, she's in a familiar spot right on top. Another gold medal. Congratulations, Simone.
Don't forget the P&G Championships are coming to Indianapolis for 4 days in August. Tickets are still available for the Artistic Championships at the Bankers Life Fieldhouse and can be ordered through USA Gymnastics website at usagym.org. That's the P&G Championships, August 13th through the 16th at the Bankers Life Fieldhouse in Indianapolis.
Okay.
The final results are in, and so are the fans of Simone Biles. They are in the stands and they are present, and they were rewarded. What a great performance by the world champ. She again wins the secret US Classic 62.4, a commanding victory over the defending Olympic all-around champ. We might see some rivalries here the next year. This could get interesting. Maggie Nichols looked great as well. Crystal caught up with our winner and also a couple of our comeback kids.
It will get interesting for sure. Here with Simone Biles, your 2015 all-around champion. Now back-to-back here at the Secret Classic. You added a few upgrades. How do you feel they were?
I felt they were really good, especially since we started on beam, and that's usually, you're really nervous. And so to get that out of the way and hit a set, and since it's new, I'm just really proud of myself.
Looking forward, you have Nationals, then Worlds, and then Rio. Yeah. So what are the plans?
Just to keep these routines and make them more consistent, because it was my first time doing them. So I was just really nervous, and I was like, I didn't know how they were going to work out. So now that I know I can go out and hit them under pressure, consistent.
Well, great work tonight. You're all-around champion. Now over to Gabby and Allie, two girls who made their domestic return, much anticipated. Allie, how do you feel you did overall today?
Today was okay. I wish I obviously didn't fall on floor, but I think all the girls did amazing, especially Gabby and Simone. Congratulations to them. But it was okay. I have improvements to make, but I'm happy with how I did.
How about for you, Gabby? What expectations did you set, and did you meet them?
I just wanted to come out here and just do really clean routines, just really head, and I really wanted the confidence of myself to go out here and I'm going to hit, and like Allie said, there still needs to be more improvements for me. I need to, be more consistent, and I just trust myself a little bit more.
All right, thank you, ladies. Working on that consistency and still plenty of time to do just that.
Thank you, Crystal. Congratulations, Allie. Congratulations, Gabby. But most of all, congratulations, Simone Biles. You have done it again. You are the repeat secret U.S. Classic champ. Just add another trophy to the trophy case. Unbelievable. It's going to be another good year, I suspect, for Simone Biles. Thank you, everybody, for watching Universal Sports. For Tim Daggett, Amanda Borden, Crystal Sonmore, I'm John Roethlisberger. Of all the broadcast teams here on Universal Sports, we are definitely one of them. So long, everybody. Thanks for watching.